Lorna, Adult Social Care produced a big document, a large document last week regarding volunteering. Can you take us through the reasons for it and maybe the history of it as well?
Well, the reasons we want to have a comprehensive strategy for volunteering is really to encourage and support local people to be engaged and to volunteer, because there's a number of reasons. One is it helps in the transition often to paid and meaningful employment. Sometimes that's really difficult for people. Volunteering is a very safe way to introduce people to new ideas and new opportunities. You get a chance to try it out, see whether it works for them, whether there are things that they're interested in that they wouldn't necessarily have considered. The other benefit is for people who might not be wanting to move into paid employment but still want something meaningful to contribute back into the community. So we had a recent case of somebody who'd been caring for a loved one for a long period of time. They went into residential care and they felt a real missing place in their lives. So volunteering helps to give back, if you like, a meaningful place for people in the community.
But naturally, this may sound like a stupid question, but all the safeguarding would be in place. You wouldn't have somebody simply going and signing up medication.
Yes. It's all, and that's part of what members were asking us last week, is really making sure people are properly supervised, they're properly insured and properly supported. And that's all about why you have a policy, why you have a strategy in place, is to have safeguards and give a good overview about what we're trying to achieve.
So now you presented the document, what's the process from now?
Well, now what we're aiming to do is really put it into a much more sort of systematic practice across the council, and really making sure that we seek out a whole range of opportunities for people to contribute and have a chance, really, and to test things with our partners as well. So engaging with partners who would maybe not always think to take on a volunteer, how they might be able to be supported in taking them on.
Are there budgetary restraints here at all?
Well, there are budgetary restraints in, I think, everything in the public sector at the moment, and I think we're no different from anywhere else. But volunteering strategies are in place in all, big, large public sector bodies, and it's really part of what core business is really to make sure you offer opportunities and really support people, and that's really what it's about, because employment opportunities, particularly in areas like Thurrock, are really important to try and lift aspirations and really give a sense of what can be achieved, and those are the sorts of opportunities that volunteering really has to offer.
I guess it's fair to say that it sometimes appears a week doesn't go by without adult social care being nominated or at least lauded for something. Is it? You must be knocking on the door, I guess, of green flag status. Is that accurate?
Well, I would hope so. I'd say we've got lots of green shoots that we hope will grow into a big green flag, and I think we're working hard with our partners to really evidence that our outcomes are what we say they are, and that people's lives are really being transformed and improved. And we're working very much with our partners to sort of achieve that and to be able to demonstrate that. So I think what really matters to us is that we deliver, really well on the ground for people, and that's embedded throughout the organisation and with our partners. So yes, I think we're seeing lots of green shoots, and we hope our regulators agree with us.
What would you say your success is down to?
I think it's down to a lot of commitment, real focus on what's important, and working with others. So I think you don't get real recognition for your community without working across the partnership, and I think that's what's really important. I think having a vision and knowing where you want to be is equally necessary, and I think I've been very fortunate with having a lot of support from across the sector, but also I think that without the kind of member across the chamber support, we wouldn't be where we are, and I think that's been really important to sort of recognise that there's been a lot of commitment for adult social care over the years I've been here.
Is it often a point of putting the right people in the right places? Indeed, if you go back to Colin's house, it seemed glaringly obvious that the role of Kay and Angela leading from the front was key to its success.
I think leadership's absolutely critical. You've got to have the right people in the right jobs at the right time, and sometimes it is about the best fit. Certainly I think we've put a lot of focus on making sure that we're clear about what our expectations are, but also that we expect for frontline service like Colin's House that they matter and they're important to the council to do well at. And an improvement from a very poor 0-star 18 months ago to now 3-star, I think is a massive achievement.
Changing the subject slightly again, we ran an article last week which looked at although there's still 9 care homes in the borough on 1 star only, and although that's not your responsibility, what input at all can you have on something like that?
Well, I consider it is my responsibility because as a commissioner, we're very clear on managing better performance, and our contracting and commissioning team work actively with homes where there are issues of performance. So we consider it our business to be able to very, very focused on improving the quality of all care that's in the borough and where we have residents placed. So where we have placed people in adult social care in those homes, we certainly see it as our responsibility. Obviously the regulator is responsible for making those judgments, but our role as commissioners is to be in there. We did a lot of work with Bluebell Court, for example, and was very focused on trying to work with them on improvements. And I think they came to, they certainly addressed a lot of the issues that we're concerned about. But it is something that we are very keen to make sure we continue the effort around that because it matters to our residents.